What's up, everybody? Seems like every other day there's something going on with Christian hip hop. So this one's actually not that recent. It's actually a little bit old, but just came to my attention. I'm just getting into it right now. So apparently, if you know the rapper Lecrae, obviously I'm a big fan. Him and his label Reach Records and his artists on there. So apparently, he actually sent out a tweet recently that basically said once upon a time, I thought I was done with Christianity, but the reality was I was just done with the institutional, corporatized, gentrified, politicized, culturally exclusive version of it. So obviously, some people like me, I kind of understood where he's coming from. Basically my experiences with Christianity and the church. But I guess it rubbed some people the wrong way because literally the next day, then he tweeted, "Just lost a show because of this tweet. Point proven." So kind of hurt me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because let's just back up a little bit. I just want to ask a question to most people when it comes to like Christianity, religion, and just how certain people live their lives. Are we really, as Christian men and women, trying to reach people? Because especially like the Christian hip hop scene, especially like people like Lecrae, I noticed that a lot of times we're so quick to break down and tear down people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to build them up. You know what I'm saying? So they say something that we don't agree with, it's instantly attack mode and attack them for their views. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, not everybody's views are gonna align with ours, even in the faith. People got their own different, terms of how they view their own faith too. You know what I'm saying? Like original sin, something that was found by Saint Augustine. A lot of people don't believe in that. Different forms of Christianity too. That so like you gotta understand, we can't keep tearing people down because of things that they say and their viewpoints on certain issues. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a question I want to have us to just think on. Are we really trying to seek people out and build them into the kingdom, pray for others? Or are we just so quick to break and tear people down if they don't agree with our exact views on the issues? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy. This came out in a season where you see like a lot of people like pioneers of the Christian hip hop faith too. They're actually saying they're going through this deconstruction period, and apparently deconstruction, but they're saying like they're having their doubts and they're kind of more like not aligning with Christianity anymore because of these doubts, and they're trying to like they're like basically taking back to somewhere like renouncing their faith. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. Like fanatic, if anybody knows about that, or like cross movement fanatic is one that's done that. Joseph Solomon, he's another dude that basically recently said something like that. So it's kind of crazy. Like, and we're going through this, and at the same time, people that's still in the faith, it's like we're tearing them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this has become an issue if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta stay strong right about now. Honestly, like this age is crazy. You know what I'm saying? We got so much going on with COVID and deaths and now we got freaking Russia, and the Ukraine situation going on. Like we need like this, we need to be unified. You know what I'm saying? The house divided will fall apart, and that's really where we headed if we don't get our stuff together. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta listen. We gotta get together, man. Like we can't keep tearing our brothers and sisters down, man. Especially people like the public space, like Lecrae and others. Like they need it the most. They need our prayers the most because it's hard being a person of faith in those areas. Like honestly, I'm a person of faith, and I'm actually a cop, and I can tell you it's hard. Like in certain spheres, like being living out your faith. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, sometimes when I go on calls, my first thing is I want to seek out what you got going on, your issue. If I got time, I like to preach to you, and well, not preach to you, preach, but just try to give you some advice and say like, yo, like, kind of get together, you know what I'm saying? But I can't do that every time. Like a lot of times I'm getting cursed out, you know what I'm saying? So it's like in certain areas, man, we gotta understand like it's tough, and tearing our brothers down brothers and sisters down is not helping in any type of way. So please pray for the people and don't just knock them down. Like I say, we already got enough going on with this deconstruction phase that I keep hearing going along in the world. So it's crazy. So next thing is I do want to point out that he actually mentioned is a lot of problems that we see in faith is not like the faith or Christianity. It's actually the people. And me personally, I went through this. I live in the state of Florida. I actually grew up in Pompano Beach. There was a church called First Baptist Church of Pompano. And when I went there, actually, I hated it in a sense because it was upper church, like majority white church, and an up like an upper class church. You know what I'm saying? Me, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. You know what I mean? My friend, like I had both parents, but even with that, we just didn't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't grow up much. So when I seen stuff like that, like when I seen the people and they was all uppity and this and that, and the church kind of seemed like it was like a prosperity type too. You know what I'm saying? Not like a full on like Joel Austin type thing, but it seemed like there's a little bit of prosperity gospel in it. And if I use that as my platform to say I should walk away from the faith, I think I'll be doing myself a big disservice. Instead, I was like, yo, like that's the problem with the people, not with the faith. And I think that kind of applies with the Lecrae situation. Like these people that's obviously canceled the tour date because he said something they didn't agree with. That's just a people problem. It's not a faith problem. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to attack that too. Like honestly, hold on to your faith, even if understand a faith problem and a people problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause let's keep it G. A lot of people in this world, they have an emotional argument about why they don't believe in God. I heard it like even when I was doing training to become a officer. You got to go through faith field training, officer training. My department has 3 phases you have to go through. My first phase, FTO basically said he's seen so much in his world that he cannot believe in God. Or you hear other statements just like saying basically it's so much evil and death in the world. So if God is so good, why is these things happening? So when you hear that, first of all, those are emotional arguments, and that really is a people problem. Like honestly, you're saying all this evil in the world is happening. Like that's not God just striking down and saying that he's not striking these people dead. Like these are people. Okay, let's break it down. I'm gonna make this more clear. If guy A shoots guy B, that's a people problem. That's not a God problem. This guy chose to get a gun and shoot this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not God saying he's not putting on somebody's mind. I mean, some these weird people on the streets they will say God told him to do it, but God's not telling these people just take a gun and shoot these people. You know what I'm saying? These are emotional arguments. You know what I'm saying? And it's literally people problems. You're saying all this evil in the world, that's evil coming from people. You know what I'm saying? So we got to separate the people problem and the faith problems. You know what I'm saying? So there's another thing I just want to point out with what's going on with him. And another situation that kind of applies this, I really want us to look into is learning to listen to one another. And this is a big one nowadays that I kind of have a huge issue with. So my job, I'm pretty good at listening to people because that basically is basically what my job entails. I have to listen to people and see what's going on, what happened, how I'm gonna help them. You know what I'm saying? But I've started to notice in a lot of circles like Christianity, we're not listening to one another, and it comes down goes back to my first point of tearing each other down. I'm starting to notice that and sadly, I'm not doing any political statement on this, but I noticed when Donald Trump got into office, a lot of us just stopped listening to one another. It became I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, this is where I'm at, and this is what I believe, and I don't hear anything else of it. Like and once again, you're doing yourself a big service. And that's why I noticed. I noticed that we are we're just so quick to argue, or put up our defense and argue and not listen to one another. And we're not gonna grow in any way by living like that. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, like if I had fell into that trap, honestly, once again, I could have probably fell out of Christianity and faith as well. Because me personally, I had a big issue with So one, like I said, I'm a cop. Basically, there's a lot of issues when it comes into it. I am a minority. Obviously, police departments and sheriff offices, they're not big on just minorities being in there. It's not like the NFL where you got like a majority black thing. It's like obviously being a minority is like a minority in law enforcement. So before I became a cop, there was a lot of things happening like that I didn't agree with. Obviously, we had I was a cop when George Floyd happened, but before then you had like the Sterlings, A lot of stuff, a lot of the little shootings and issues with law enforcement and black people and all that stuff. Like, I was actually in the army during most of those times, and basically, I didn't agree with everything going on, even like before. Like, this is pre-law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? Most things, you know, like I said, George Floyd was my time, but a lot of these other issues were not. Breonna Taylor, she was my time as well, but you know, like if I didn't listen to others, I probably wouldn't be a cop. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make my own decisions about these things. Like, so, and if I just listen to what most people are saying, I will have a bad view of law enforcement in itself. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I did. Like, I was basically raised that, you know, cops are not our friends. You know, do what you need to do to get away from them as quick as possible. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, I was never that guy that gave cops a problem either. Like, I got stopped. I was leaving my friend's neighborhood one time late at night. Not doing anything suspicious, literally just walking on. And I got stopped by a cop, but you know, I didn't give him a hard time. Like, I was like, hey, here's my ID. You check for whatever. And, and I went on my way. That was a funny stop because actually, I had my issues when I was younger. I went to juvenile one time, and he actually was able to pull up my juvenile picture, and it was a horrible photo. I used to have a big old afro, but yeah, I never give them a hard time, but basically, you know, learn to listen to one another. People that were cops, and people that, you know, there's people of different faiths, like or not different faiths, different walks of life come together. I learned that, you know, when you listen, you can come to a better agreement, and not really agreeing, but you can just basically say, I understand you. I mean, I agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? So a big thing was, I thought a lot of churches didn't care about the black experience. You know what I'm saying? Um, like, police brutality, it is a thing. Not really as much now, but and it is a thing. Like, it happens. Let's just keep it G. Racism, it's a thing, and it happens. It's still existing to this day. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of churches were not acknowledging it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like brushing it. And I think Charles, I forgot his first name. His last name is MacArthur. He basically made, like, his response to it was like, just preach the gospel. And I'm like, bro, that's so blanket statement of a way to approach something like racism. Don't just preach the gospel. Like, for one, let's just be honest. I'm not gonna get too historical on this, but if you read the Bible, it takes place on the continents of Africa and Asia. Okay. For one, let's go with the story of Moses, Egypt, right? That's in Africa. So you have many different people, basically people like me, people like Lecrae of this world. You're gonna see them, like, you know what I'm saying. You die and make it to heaven. You're gonna see people like me. Like, it's gonna be so culturally diverse. So we gotta sit there and understand these things. You know what I'm saying? We can't just sit there and brush certain certain cultures problems under the rug. These things exist, and then when you do that, like, people like me, I'm staring back like, yo, like, you saying you a brother in Christ, but you honestly, it seems like you don't care about anything that I'm going through or my experiences. So my main point is, we gotta learn to listen to one another. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when Trump became elected, I just seen it was at its highest. I'm not blaming it on him or anything, but I just seen it at its highest, that we were just so inclined to just stick to our viewpoints and not hear anyone else. And it's become a huge issue. There's some dudes I talk to about political stuff, and I'm just like, I like 5 minutes in, I'm like, I'm not gonna get through to you. Like, you are so stuck on what you believe in. You're gonna let me talk, but you're not gonna understand anything that I'm saying. And I noticed that, and it's kind of messed up, but I think us as Christian brothers and sisters, we need to learn to hear one another out. We're supposed to bear each other's burdens, for one. So if you're not going to, like, I think you're doing just all of us a disservice. So, like I said, you don't gotta agree, but I think you should hear each other out. Last thing, church is for the broken, okay? Basically, church is for sinners in need of a savior, okay? We gotta understand this. Church is not for perfect people. There is no perfect people. What did Paul say? No one is righteous. No, not one. That is true. No one is perfect in this world. No one is righteous, bro. We're trying to live righteously, but understand you're not going to achieve it every day. Like we're going to sin every day. This is, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way of the world. You know, I got to come to repentance like every day when I pray. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know I'm messing up, especially my job. I can, man, being a police officer, like I said, I talk to so many different people. Sometimes I lose it. You know what I'm saying? It happens. I'm not perfect. I can admit that. Sometimes with my job, I do let anger loose on certain people. Obviously, I just don't go out and just start. But sometimes when it comes at me, I return fire. You know what I'm saying? So we understand we're not perfect. Church for the broken. So basically, if you don't agree with what Lecrae said, oh, okay. You know, it is what it is. He's a broken individual just like you are. So he has his own viewpoints from his experience. Take that into account from his experience. And that's why he feels a certain way. And that's another thing. We gotta understand. People come from different experiences. Like I said, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. Some people did. Some people grew up with I grew up with both parents. Some people did not. They grew up with a mom or they grew up with dad. You know, so you know what I'm saying? So we gotta take into account, bro. We got so many different experiences in the world, bro. Like this world is church for the broken, dog. It's for the broken. You know what I'm saying? Like me specifically, like yo, you would never expect me to become a Christian in this world. Like honestly, how I was when I growing up, even now to this day, I consider myself a rebel Christian. I don't talk like a Christian. Personally, if you want to be honest, I do curse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hide that. I do curse. But at the same time, I know who my Lord and Savior is. I know who I'm trying to follow. I know who I'm trying to live up to. I know the example I'm following. I'm following Jesus to the end of the road. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for me to go. You know what I'm saying? I know. I trust in my Lord. I trust in God that He's gonna get me through it. I trust in God. He got me. It's something big in my life that He wants me to be able to do. And acknowledging that, I know that I'm a sinner. I know that I cannot sit here and put myself above people. Even when I'm talking to the homeless people on the street, who some of them are drug addicts, I don't put myself above them. Like I'm going to lower myself to their level if I got to. You know what I'm saying? Not like saying that kind of came out wrong, but you get what I'm saying. Like basically, I'm not gonna put myself above them. I'm gonna meet them in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Because I like honestly, a lot of these people that I gotta deal with, I want them to be better. A lot of these juveniles, when I see them, I'm like, yo, like you don't got a criminal record. You obviously got some bad people that you hang around with, but you personally don't have a criminal record. You need to you know what you need to do? Join the army and get up out of here. Because staying right here is not gonna get you to where you need to be. Or trying to change your life staying in the same area is not gonna work. You need to get into the military and get up out of here. That's exactly what I did. I knew that my route was a little bit different. Like basically, I didn't want to have to pay for any college tuition because I was like, it's too high nowadays. So I was gonna use the army for their GI Bill. So the army was basically my stepping stone. But for these other dudes, I'm like, you want to get up out of here? You want to get away from this lifestyle that's not doing you any good? Join the military, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, referring back to the old point, because I went on different tangents. I'm gonna bridge all together right now. Basically, what I'm saying is, I understand why Lecrae put the tweet out, and I agree with it. But for those that are just quick to tear him down for that, you know, people that crossed out his tour date because of a tweet they sent out. He said, like, the point is proven, and it really is. We are so quick to disagree with people and say we don't need that around us. Because why? Because you're perfect? Is that your response? It shouldn't be. We should try to hear these people out. Invite this brother to your church. Talk to him. I'm sure he's very receptive to it. Lecrae's, bro, like, honestly, like I said, I've been a fan of Lecrae for years. If you don't know about why I became a fan of Lecrae, I got another video out about how I came to faith. This dude, while I've seen through the years, he's been torn down a lot. You know what I'm saying? By just people that are supposed friends, or not friends, fans. And it's crazy. Just from mine, so he makes a tweet about, social justice, and he gets torn down for it. He says, he puts out a video, he gets torn down for it. You look in his comment section, basically, if he doesn't say God in the video, obviously he's a heretic, he's not a Christian. And that's a big thing with the Christian hip hop fans. I see if you don't say God in every sentence, it's like you're not, a Christian. As if everybody that's a Christian just says God in every sentence when they're talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Or just every job they're supposed to do. Because I guess being a rapper, you consider that a job. So I guess if he's not saying God in every rap song, then he's not a Christian. I guess that can make me a Christian because every call I go on to as a police officer, I'm basically not Christian because I'm not saying God to everybody. I'm preaching to people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just many different problems that we have, and I want to stop tearing people down. I want us to do more praying for people than tearing people down, and hear people out. Most people have a good reason for why they say what they say. Sometimes people say things in haste out of emotion. You know what I'm saying? Or just reacting to a situation that hurts them so much. I know a lot of people probably said some things when they seen that George Floyd video that probably they would like to take back. You know what I'm saying? Some people probably took pictures and made some statements they probably like to take back. So, but my thing is, certain people I don't think with Lecrae's tweet, I don't think that was like one of those in haste things. I think he meant what he said. And I think if we take the time to understand why he said what he said, it will benefit us a whole lot better. And I think a lot of us aren't doing that. And we're doing ourselves a disservice if we're not hearing each other, praying for each other, sympathizing with each other, empathizing with each other, and trying to be there for one another. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really want to say. And I hope that we grow through situations like this. These are times where we need one another. You know what I'm saying? So let's truly start see that out with each other, pray for each other, and try to live with each other, and like I said, just understand each other. And I think we'll move in a better different. We'll move better, more positively. You know what I'm saying? Or I said that backwards, but who cares? Either way. Let's pray for one another, be with one another, understand with each other, hear one another out. That's all I gotta say. Y'all be safe. Along with podcast, we are out.